Alright, I just finished a little show called Arcane League of Legends, and boy, let me tell you, absolute banger of a show, buddy. If you haven't seen it, you might want to watch this one. I'm going to go over this show and review it a little bit, and if you haven't seen it, go ahead and go watch it first because there's going to be spoilers. I know I'm a little late getting to the show. It came out 2024, I think, but not that bad compared to other things. There's so much out there to watch that it almost feels like you can never catch up. You know what I mean? But anyway, a friend recommended this to me, and I was like, okay, short, sweet, little show. I've never played the game because it's supposed to be based off the game or whatever. But I was like, fuck it, let's get into it. Let's vibe out. I'm watching the first season. It's going like slow. I'm like, maybe that's just me, but it was kind of like a slow little vibe. And my friend's like, just wait, it gets good. And so I'm watching it. First three episodes are like little kids, Violet, Powder, sisters. They get their parents killed. A guy named Vander takes care of them. He's a bartender. They have a friend group. Echo's one of them. Can't remember the other two. And then they go on a little heist. They're not supposed to go on. They steal these blue things. I think it's called the Arcane, and blow up part of the town. The rich people up top, because they live at the bottom, they're poor. And Piltover is the town. They they go after them. They figure out it was the kids, but Powder still has a few of them in her pocket. She kept very important for later. And then later on, they go after him. Vander protects them, and then Powder, she's like they're going. So she uses those orbs she found, and she always makes these bombs made out of powder, and they never work. And then finally, the one that does work gets her friends killed, except for Violet, her sister, and Echo's fine. And Vander ends up dying too. And Violet is her older sister. She's so mad in the moment. She calls her a jinx, and she basically is telling her she's a piece of shit, and it was her fault, and leaves her. And Vander has a brother that is evil, and he takes over. He takes care of Powder because right after Violet leaves her, he comes gets her. His name's Silka. I don't even know if I said that. And then it fast forwards when they're older. Violet's like in prison. Her life's shit, and Jinx, she calls herself Jinx now. Powder, and her Silco is a father figure. He's basically using her though to do his little heist runs and this and that and the other. Use her bombs. She's became like a good shot. She has a pistol. It's like badass. Um. Anyway, eventually they meet up again, Violet and Jinx, and Jinx is a completely broken person. She hates her sister. She's like psycho. She has like these different personalities talking to her. Um. In my first impressions on the first season, my favorite character was Violet for Shersky. I loved her. She was like the beat 'em up kind of character. I felt bad for her because she definitely regretted what she said to Powder Jinx. Um, and she can see how much it changed her. But they go head to head throughout the thing. That's the season two. Um, Jinx meets a little girl, and that it makes a little relationship. Things get better. Also, the whole time all of this was happening, there's a character named Jace, the top of the tower. I forget what it's called. And there's another girl. I think her name's Mel. They fall in love. Um, and him and another one, Victor. They want to. Victor wants to do good for the world because he's a crippled and he wants to fix people like him. So he wants to use the arcane that Jace found when he was young. Actually, someone gave him to make things better. Ends up becoming weaponized, and Mel, they're probably the wrong name. Her mother comes into the picture. She's also evil. So there's like, you know, something going on there. She wants to take over the arcane weaponry. I think that's what it is. And Victor doesn't fuck with that. So he takes it over himself, becomes the Almighty, the Great. He takes over the Hex Tech, heals people, and they make him into the villain, which I didn't really like, but it is what it is. Violet and Jinx make up over time. Takes them a while, but then they go against everybody together. Um, Echo helps out, Jace, all them. End of the story. Big boss battle, Avengers Endgame type of vibe. They they all go head to head. Vander, I don't know if I mentioned the guy that takes care of them. He died in the beginning, but they use his body to recreate like a beast. So he comes back. They have to fight him several times, but they try to make him realize that they're like his kids, and he does until the lady with the witch, Mel or whatever her name is, her mom takes over his mind and fucking just like destroys everything. He's just full blown beast. They can't save him. End of the story. After they make up, have the battle, Violet and Jinx, they become sisters again. You kind of see that coming. Season 1, I loved Violet. Season 2, Jinx was definitely my favorite. I love her character arc, how she kind of redeemed herself, had the kid or whatever as a figure, a sister figure. I loved it. And end of the story, Jinx sacrifices herself to save Violet. Really sad. I actually shed a tear. I loved the show, and I 100% recommend it. If most of the time shows don't have a better season 2, but this season 2 was way better than the first season in my opinion. It gets so much better if you just stick through it. um, fuck. Anyway, so yeah, she sacrifices herself to save Violet in the end, so she redeems herself. But I think she's still alive because at the end she gets into one of the tunnels, like because the way she dies, the tower's falling, she falls off the edge, whatever, sacrifices, and I think she's still alive. But they say they're not making any more episodes, so it is what it is, man. Um, it was one of those shows that when you are done with it, you just have that emptiness feeling, and you feel like you actually knew the characters, so you get like low key depressed whenever it's over. One of them bangers.